Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack. Featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I have missed you so much. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for being here. Today is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, and this shit, it might as well be episode 1. I don't fucking know. This is episode number 1038, I believe, of Barry on Deck. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. This intro is the best thing I've ever seen. What's up? Good to see you, Tigers. Welcome in, everybody. Golly, did I miss you guys? I missed this show. Your boy has been busy, to say the least. But I never forgot about you. I promise. I never forgot about doing the show or having fun with it. But this, this was a long time coming. I really missed this. So, it's good to see you guys. Well, hold on one second. What the shit? Oh, fuck. Okay. I don't know what happened there. All right. Well, it's good. I hope Jenny's mom isn't in effort right now. What does that even mean, Cisco? Good to see you all, man. Thank you guys for tuning back in. I tell you, I was like, is anybody gonna show up? They probably have all moved on, and I wouldn't blame them one bit. It's been forever. First of all, let me just say thank you guys, everybody, for not only coming back, but just continuing to support the show. Oh, Egypt. I was like, what? No, Jenny isn't in Egypt right now. Nope, she's been home, so we're good to go. But we got a lot to get to. Okay, we have things to discuss. There it is. Okay, so it's been a long time. Let's just start from the beginning. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Okay, 4 weeks since we've really done a real show, because I was gone for 2 weeks. Came back for a week, and nothing worked. Nothing worked. It just, the computer wouldn't work, and I grinded on it, and I finally just did a show outside on the patio for like an hour on my laptop, and or on my phone, actually. It was wild. But then had to leave again for another week. Took a day off to, get my shit together, and here we are. We're back, baby. Let me say thank you to everybody for resubscribing. Jared Taylor, thank you for resubscribing for 49 months. You a man, sir. Good to see you. John Dorier, thank you for resubscribing for 44 months. Keith, thank you for resubscribing for 49 months. That was a treasure train. I still don't know what the fuck a treasure train is, but whatever. Cisco, thank you for resubscribing for 44 months, man. He said, let me go sit on the toilet for old time's sake. B-Hannon, thank you for resubscribing for 39 months. Much love, brother. Podge said, run a trade on Barry. Not necessary. Thank you, Podge, for resubscribing for 49 months. You guys are the shit. Cisco, thank you for the 7 biddies, I should say. Thank you, sir. Terrence, thank you for resubscribing for 34 months. Oh my God. This is crazy. Cece's back. What up, Cece? She said, fake news? No, ma'am. Thank you for resubscribing for 42 months. And my sweet Donna, thank you for resubscribing for 46 months. Oh my God. Whew. Lord Jesus, it is so good to be back. Thank you to everybody on YouTube for tuning back in. Thank you to everybody on Twitch. What does that say? Is this real? Didn't think so. No, this is all an illusion. All an illusion. Barry over here looking like DH Gate Wolverine. I mean, Jared said something about my beard too. Where was that at? Oh, Donna, I love you. What did Jared say? Where did it go? Jared had said something about the beard too. I don't remember. Jet, what up, Jet? Jet said, was I going to look like Rip Van Winkle with the beard? No, not bad. Not bad. I don't think. Let's see. Who is Diva in the house? I'm over here because my Amazon subscription lies and runs out before it's supposed to. I'm not watching 2 minutes of ads. Let's see. Oh, Jesus. See, forgot to do that. Yep, there goes that. You're probably wondering how I got here. Okay, stop it. Stop it. There we go. Let's see. Shit, I can't find where he said it. There it is. Been so long, your beard looks like it's grown 10x. I wish. All right. Thank you guys for the treasure train. Level 3, 53%. Your community contributed 9 subs and 7 biddies. Okay, we have a lot to get to. So much to discuss. First of all, again, thank you for your patience. Okay. Just that little run right there. It changed a lot. Like financially, it really was necessary and needed. So I appreciate y'all's patience in that. I've got another run. I'll do another week in April and then one in May. And then my next one's not until August, unless I could get some more booked. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But a lot of shit went down. Now, look, I haven't been able to watch a ton of sports. There's literally... So I don't know, how many of y'all... Put a 1 in the chat if you've been on a cruise before. If you've gone on a cruise, it doesn't have to be the one I work on. It could be Carnival, it could be Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, whatever. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been on a cruise. I'm curious to see. But... there's not a lot of TV watching, okay? And first and foremost, you're limited to like 4 channels, 5 channels, maybe. I'm trying to remember, there was like some ESPN shit. There was ESPN Caribbean. I didn't even know that existed, but that's the thing. But they had like ESPN2 and ESPNU, and nothing worth watching is usually on there. So didn't watch any sports. Jetson, oh my God, I'm back over here. Ads in both places. So the ads, you don't get ads on Twitch if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, you get the ads, unfortunately. But it's not, it shouldn't be too bad. It should be like every 30 minutes at the most. All right. So this is AJB's been on a cruise. CC does not surprise me. She cruises probably more than I do now. Pew Pew has been on a cruise. Let's see. John Dorier has been on a cruise. Tiger said 2 for the broke bitches. There you go. Yeah. Perry said TV, no time for that on a boat. First of all, I learned, I did it too. Not supposed to call it a boat. I kept calling it a boat. They're like, it's a ship. It's a ship. Ship. I was like, man, I don't give a fuck. Boat, ship, who cares? Who gives a ship? But, I need to take care of this. All this shit. So yeah, but that's the point. It's like, if you're vacationing, you're not going to sit in your cabin and watch TV. But if you're working, like this guy, that's all you do. Like, I literally didn't do shit. Yeah, just like, don't you do skits? Exactly, Donna. Donna gets me. It's like, I was there to make money. I was there to work. And so the way, I don't know how it works on other cruise lines. I've only been on this one. But you pretty much have to buy a package for everything. So for those of you that didn't put a one in the chat, Jared Taylor's been on one. Dope. You pretty much have to buy. So you pay for your cruise. It can be pretty cheap. I think I saw like $500, $400, something like that for the 7-day cruise. But then you have to pay for everything. So you have to get like a drink package, and that can run you $300 or $400. And you have to have one. If you get a drink package, that's how it works on this one. I don't know how it works on all of them. But if you get the drink package, you have to get it for every adult in your cabin. So like if it's you and your wife and you're the only one that drinks, tough shit. She has to get a drink package too. But if you have kids, you can get them a non-alcoholic drink package. But then you got to pay for internet. You got to pay for excursions. The shows are free, and they do have some free food, but you can like get food packages and shit like that. It can start to add up, but it's 7 days of pure bliss, just drinking and eating and partying. There's something to do 24/7 just about. Plus, the excursions when you get off. Now, me on the other hand, I literally sat in a cabin for these 3 weeks, didn't do a goddamn thing. Every once in a while, I would go sit on the deck in the smoker section, smoke a cigar, and work. Like I literally would just put my hat on and get my laptop, and I look like a weirdo, is what I realized. I look like a weirdo just sitting out there with a laptop, headphones on, working. Where's my Hennessy White, Truman? Oh, fuck. Forgot. I remember Nora's Candy, though. I got that done. So there's that. But I failed you, sir. I definitely failed you. By day 6, I was sick of everyone and everything, still drinking, but sick of it all. Yep. Sounds about right. Here's how like my week would go, right? So I would get on Sunday, and I gotta say, for the amount of money that I get paid, it's pretty dope because I only do 4 shows, 30 minutes each. So I'm doing 2 hours worth of comedy over 7 days, and probably making double what I would at a club on the road, working the whole weekend, doing a Wednesday, a Thursday, 2 Friday, and 2 Saturday, and maybe 1 Sunday. So 6 to 7 shows. So I'm literally doing 4 shows, and each one of those is 45 minutes to an hour. And what's crazy is like, I don't perform until Wednesday night. That's my first show. So I have 2 shows on Wednesday. They're both family friendly. Yes, your boy can do family friendly. Yes, I can do comedy without cussing. Go fuck yourself. I just don't like to. But you do 2 family friendly shows. Both of those are on Wednesday, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And then the next night I do my first adult show, which is the Thursday at 10:45 p.m. It's like the last show of the night. And then I'm off on Friday. And then I do another show on Saturday. It's literally the last event of the cruise. And it's a 30-minute comedy show at 10:45 at night. And then everybody's got to get up at 7 in the morning and get the fuck off the ship, right? So the way it works is the first 2 shows, the first 2 are family friendly, both sold out, packed to the gills. And I'm not talking about like a little, lounge or a little club. It's a theater that holds over 700 people. So what up, Clarence? So somebody else popped in too. I didn't see. Oh, Alex, what up, Alex? So my first night, I'm performing for about 1,400 people. It's crazy. I won't see that in a whole weekend at a club on the road. And those are usually packed, sold out. There's some kids in the crowd or whatever, but I don't do hey, kids. I just do my shit. I just don't cuss. And I don't do crazy like couple stuff or a lot. I do some, but not a lot, right? But it's just supposed to be family friendly, meaning they can come watch the comedy show and bring their kids and still get a good comedy show. So that's what we do. Then the first adult show, pretty much do what I want. And then the last night, so the first adult show is usually sold out too. So 3 shows, about 2,100 people. And then the last night is hardly anybody in there. It feels weird because it's a theater of 700 plus and there's maybe 200 in there. And what's crazy is I would kill for an audience of 200 at a comedy club. Oh my God, that would pack the Punchline, which I'll be there Friday night at 9:30. Yep, we got to talk about that. So the 200 is like, oh, this sucks. But when you're used to 700, it sucks. But what's funny is, so when you go to any kind of show on a cruise ship, you have to reserve your seat. You don't pay for it, but you just have to reserve to let them know. And in the app, I can log in and see how many tickets are reserved and all that stuff, right? So I can see the first 2 nights usually sell out by the second day, or the first 2 shows. And then the first adult show is pretty much sold out by the second or third day. And on the last show of the last night, and everybody goes, usually you'll see it slowly tick up and it'll get to about 400, reserved, right? And then that Friday and that Saturday leading up to the show, you just slowly see the numbers start coming back down again because everybody's realized, oh fuck, that's 10:45 at night and we got to get up and get off the not staying up that late. It's old people. But the shows have been going great. I had to get my footing a little bit and figure out, the right things to do and when and how. And I wrote a bunch of new material about cruise ships just because here's the cool thing. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and all day Wednesday, nobody knows who I am. I'm just another weirdo on the cruise ship that has his laptop out. Really, that's it. PB Dubs! Thank you for resubscribing, man. 46 months, sir. But leading up to my first show, nobody knows me. I'm just some dude, right? And so nobody talks to me. No, I did meet these 3 young women my first week. And it was really cool. But I didn't even tell them I was a comedian until like day 3. But then once that first night is over, so come Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock shows. That's it. No more anonymity. I've now looked at now half of the ship almost has seen me from those first 2 shows, those 1,400 people. So at that point now you're walking around and everybody's like, what y'all know me. I'll be walking around and people be like, comedian. And I'm like, I'm just like, yep, that's me. They're like, man, yeah, enjoy the show. I'm like, thank you. By the way, my name is Barry, not comedian. But I don't say it. I think it until like the last night of the second week. I was walking and this couple was like, comedian guy. And I was done. I was like, ma'am, it's Barry. My name is Barry. She goes, oh, sorry. Like, yes, okay. But you get a lot of that. And a few people remember your name, but most of them don't. They just call you comedian, or they'll come up and be like, are you the comedian guy? I'm like, yep, that's me. Rudy Rod. So, but it's cool because people kind of recognize you and have nice things to say. Nobody comes up and goes, are you a comedian? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, God, you fucking suck. That would be awesome. But nobody does that. They just don't talk to you if they didn't like you. But now there's no privacy. So from, basically Wednesday night, Thursday morning till it's time to get off the ship, everybody knows I'm the comedian guy. But those first 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, first 4 days, I get to do a lot of observing and just watching, people watching and making notes. And That's fun. That's a lot of fun. The only thing that sucks is I do have to pay for internet. And so, I mean, I'm gonna expense it obviously, but it's like I do get a good discount because I'm not considered crew. I'm not an employee. I'm just a contractor, right? So I'm just gonna get a 1099 at the end of the year. But so what I'm considered a guest performer. So I actually stay in a guest cabin with all the other guests instead of in the crew area. And, I'm basically treated like a guest until it's time to perform. And then once it's time to perform, I can go backstage or do whatever. But other than that, I'm treated like every other passenger and guest on the ship. Except I still have to keep, I can't get shit-faced and start calling people names because I'm representing the cruise line, even though I'm a guest entertainer. Hey, what up, Uriel? Beheaded, alcohol prices can get a bit crazy. That's why you get the drink package. If you just do like solo dolo, like I'm just gonna pay for my drinks one at a time, you gonna pay. It's probably like ballpark prices. You know what I mean? Like you go to a game, it's probably like that. There are some cheat codes. I don't know about all the cruise lines, but on this one, like the buffet is okay. You just have to figure out what to eat and what not to eat, when to go eat, when not to go eat. But there's like this like steakhouse on the ship, right? Real nice. And I think it's $100 for two people. But you get like all kinds of shit with it. It's not just like a steak, right? But they have free breakfast in the morning. But nobody knows that because it's not advertised. So you got to go get that breakfast instead of the buffet breakfast. And yes, always get the drink package if you're a drinker. If you're just like, oh, I'm just going to have one nightcap at the end of each day, probably not worth the drink package, although it might be. But like, the shows are fun and I didn't do a whole lot. Especially like the first 2 weeks, just kind of getting my feet up under me and stuff. And then this last time that I went out, so I have to be there at like 11 a.m. on Sunday. And obviously living up here in Spring, I got to be at Galveston. Well, are you tax based on the flag? What? Dub said, are your taxes based on the flag the ship flies under? If so, you're really screwed next tax season. No, I'm taxed. It's American dollars and shit. So no, I'm just taxed as a regular old cat. Cause my agent is the one that pays me. So they pay my agent pays me. So I get paid from my agent who is US based. Which I don't know where it is. I think it's Arizona, but I'm still working in Texas. So wherever you work, trust me, tax season, part of the reason why it's such a fucking nightmare, I have to file state income tax in every single state that I work. If I made $100 or if I made $2,000, I have to file state income taxes in every state. So like if you work 40 states, you have to file 40 and they all are income tax states. You have to file and pay income tax in all 40 of those states individually. And I don't know if you know what the prices are to file a state with like TurboTax, but a lot of times come tax season, my TurboTax bill will be north of $500. Easy just to file my taxes. He said that drink package and tipping well took care of me and my 18-year-old nephew. Oh yeah. That's part of the key is like, they say that the gratuity is included in the drink packages, but a smart person will tip above that, because then you start getting like, some places have a limit on the drink package. Some places you can't get certain things, and they figure it out. Damn, they had Fogo de Chao on yours on the Royal Caribbean. That's crazy. I don't get the drink package. I get the casino free drink package. That's smart, Clarence, but I don't think it works like that. At least not on the one I'm on. So, yeah, so I'm like learning the tricks and stuff. Now, to get there is crazy. It cost me $70 every time I go on a cruise and work because John Wessling, shout out John Wessling, he taught me. So there's this, if you're going to Galveston, you can leave, you can catch a shuttle from IAH from Bush to the port, and it's direct. You just have to get to IAH. So, of course, Nora takes me in the morning and then picks me up when I get back. But then you hop on this, it's called the Galveston Express shuttle. And first time I signed up for it, I did what Wessling said. We met at like 10:30 at IAH, and it's supposed to leave at 11, get there by 1, which was a little later than I was supposed to, but they didn't care. And it's nice. It's like a little Mercedes, big Mercedes bus kind of van thing. It's not a full-size bus. It's just, it probably holds like 12 to 15 people, something like that. And then on the way back, they were like, not this past one, but the 2-week trip. They were like, oh, it's running late and it's going to be a luxury bus, not a shuttle. I was like, man, I just want to get home. I don't give a fuck. Just get it here. So the luxury bus, it was like a full-size touring bus. And it's nice. It's plush. This last time, though, I think I'm going to have to find a new, because they were, they tell you it's direct. And then coming back, I had to stop at Hobby and would drop some people off. It sucked. And I was just ready to be home. 2 weeks gone. So I booked them again. Yeah, the not having to do the parking it saves a ton of money. Because I think parking can get a couple $100 easy. But so going down there this past time, and I posted this on Threads as it went. I'm kind of just going to read you guys the threads because I don't remember everything that happened because it's been a week. But instead of getting the normal, no, the bus didn't stop at Forever 21. God, I forgot about that. Instead of getting the normal, like, little shuttle bus Mercedes thing, they're like, oh, it's a full-size luxury bus. I was like, again, I don't give a fuck, man. I just want to go. They're like, so we're going to stop at Hobby and pick up 10 more people, and then we'll head to the port. And I was like, fuck, okay. So I'm sitting on the bus, no problem. It turns out the 10 people are 6 adults and 4 of the loudest fucking kids you have ever heard in your entire fucking life. These kids, they weren't unruly where like they were, kicking shit and throwing and they were just fucking loud and never stopped talking. I mean, never stopped talking. And this was kind of the chronicles of what happened, right? So I basically said I have found hell, and it comes in the form of 4 of the loudest kids I have ever heard in my life, right? So these people, I have moved. I was sitting in the back, right? And I'm in the back, and there's like not a lot of seats around. There's a lot of seats around me, right? And so they all come and sit around me instead of like, oh, let's, we'll do this. Nope. I put my bag next to me so no one would sit in my row. But it was like every adult took a kid. So it was like an adult and a kid next to me. It was the grandfather and one of the grandbabies. And then in front of me was, I believe it was the grandma and the kid. And this kid was awful. And then it was the mom and a kid. And then in front of the grandma and that kid was a dad and a kid. And then it was 2 adults that sat by themselves behind the grandpa. So that's what I'm surrounded by now, right? So the dad is up front with like the baby of the kid. Yeah. That was kind of like the baseball team CC that I saw at Pluckers. Parents did nothing. Well, so it starts off and I just put, I'm on a bus headed to a cruise ship, and these 4 human air raid sirens have not taken a breath since boarding the bus. They've turned it from a mode of transportation to a tube of chaos, anger, and regret. So they were all talking about different things and literally talking about nothing at the same fucking time. And I say talking, they were yell talking. It was so loud, right? And it would just talk about nothing, literally nothing. The oldest spent 23 minutes trying to count to 2. Fucking 2, count to 2. They were helping him, and it was like, Jesus Christ. And it had to be 7 or 8. I don't know kids' age though. It probably might have been 4, but I'm like, it's 2. If you can't count to 2, maybe you should ride with the luggage. I don't know. This shit was wild, right? One of them, I described him as the love child of Sling Blade and John Coffey from the Green Mile. He was concerned that we were going to hit turbulence and possibly fall out of the sky. On a bus. On a bus. He was like, Dad, are you sure you should put all the stuff up there? What if we hit turbulence? His dad was like, we're not going to hit any turbulence, buddy. But we hit turbulence, we'll fall out of the sky. I want to be like, yo, we're on a fucking bus, dude. His dad was like, buddy, we're not going to hit turbulence. Everything's going to be fine. We're on a bus. We're not in the air. And I wanted to be like, bro, don't tell that kid we're not going to hit turbulence. Have you seen the potholes in this fucking city? Yeah, we're going to hit turbulence. It's just not like what you think. So then the one that was sitting in front of me just kept fucking with the window shade. He would raise it and lower it, raise it and lower it. Raise it. And I said he must have been like a vampire because it was just like he would raise it and lower it like a million fucking times. Finally, I was just like, I'm not doing this. Like he would pop it open because we shared like a big window, right? On the bus, my seat and his seat and the grandma. And at first she was like, okay, let's leave the shade alone. And then she'd kind of glance back at me and I was just like, and then he would open it again and close it, open it and close it. And I was like, and she looked back at me again and I was like, and this time I looked at her, I was like, she was like, okay, leave, the man has the shade too. So we have to leave it alone and respect him. John said, okay, maybe it was my kids. Claire said, at least it wasn't 45 minutes of a kid saying 6'7". Yeah, true that. So then he raises it and like 3/4 of the way. I didn't want the shade open, right? It's early in the morning. I'm on my phone and it's bright. So I just snatched that bitch back down again. And he looks through the seat. He's like peering through the seat. You know what I mean? Like one of these where he was like, so he does like that, and I look at him, I go, leave it. And he was like, and his grandma goes, sorry. And so I held the shade down. He tried to pull it again, and I just held it. I was like, no, motherfucker. The shade is staying down. So I just held it down. I just and he was like, it won't go up. I was like, that's right. And the grandma glanced back at me again. I want to be like, bitch, So then I started calling him on Threads. I started calling him Sling Mile, Sling Blade and Green Mile. But he goes, Papa, what's that? As we're driving. And Papa goes, that's a dog. He goes, oh, a dog? Meow. I was like, oh, fuck. He is stupid. He is stupid. Motherfucker, that's a cat. Oh my God. I was just like, I'm giggling. And they're all like, I was like, okay, your fucking cat, your kid just meowed at a dog. How do you not laugh at that? I'd be like, okay, Junior, it's time for you to get off the bus. And I was like, man, I put this on Threads. I was like, I'm pretty sure one of them has shit their pants. Either that or it was their pawpaw. And that was I wasn't going to give him my iPad because I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. So then Sling Mile goes, what are you eating, Pawpaw? And he goes, do you know what a prune is? Sling Mile's like, no. And he goes, it's like a date. Do you know what a date is? Sling Mile's like, no. I was like, motherfucker, if you don't know what a prune is, how the fuck you think he's going to know what a date is? Then he goes, well, it's kind of like a honey melon. Do you know what a honey melon is? Sling Mile's like, no. I'm like, bro, that motherfucker don't know what a dog is. How the fuck is he going to know what a prune is? I was like, you are literally meowing up the wrong tree, homie. That motherfucker is never going to figure out what a prune is. And also, if you're eating prunes, we confirm Pawpaw's the one that shit his pants. I was like, it has to be. So, so then we stopped. So actually, they got on with us at IH. We stopped at another one, and that's when more people were like sitting like behind me. And no, where did we stop? I don't remember where the fuck we stopped. But this one person gets on, and it was an old man with phlegm issues, and he just kept sitting next to me. He sat next to me like he wanted to sit with his wife. He wanted me to get up and sit with the single dude in the back by the shitter. And I was like, no, I'm not sitting by that creepy looking motherfucker. That dude is creepy as fuck. And so he sat next to me, and the whole time he was just like I swear to God, from hobby to the port, that's all that motherfucker did. And I wanted so bad to be like, bro, maybe a prune will help. Maybe get a honey melon from Pawpaw. What the fuck is going on? I was in hell. So I was like, just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, we hit construction and we're sitting at a complete standstill on the freeway. And then one of the kids goes, are we there yet? And I wanted to be like, yes, get out. Just get the fuck off. Get out. Flim Flam Man is now looking over my shoulder, trying to read my screen. Oh yeah. I'm typing all this and posting it on Threads. And I see him every once in a while. He'll be like this, like, if y'all are me, he'll be sitting there like, and so I'm literally so fucking obvious. I go like this. I look at him and we lock eyes and I go. And so for the rest of the bus ride, I lean against the window and I have my phone and I'm like feverishly typing on that bitch. But every once in a while he'll look at me and I'll look at him and I go back to typing and shit. I put baby started crying and screaming at the top of their lungs. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then on my screen, I shit you not, I just typed in all caps, hey, I see you looking, old man, mind your fucking business. I just put it real big and left it there. That was the only thing on my screen, and I was like hoping he saw it. I don't think he did. But then I was like, okay, I see water. This nightmare is over. Thank God they weren't on the cruise ship that I was going to. Thank God. And I mean, not the kids from hell nor Flim Flam Man. Neither one of them were on my ship. I was like, oh, thank Jesus. That was fucking awful. Now, coming back, I kind of fucked up and lucked up at the same time. All right. So last week was daylight savings. Well, a cruise ship isn't going to trust a bunch of drunk people on the last night of the cruise to remember to set their clocks forward and then get up and get the fuck off the ship in time. So Friday night, you hear the announcement from the cruise director. He's like, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everything is going great. It's your cruise director. He was like, I just want to remind everybody that daylight savings is this weekend. So we're asking you to set your clocks forward tonight. And it was like, well, wait a fucking minute. Now, we hadn't even gotten to Cozumel yet. So now we're going to be an hour ahead in Cozumel. I was like, oh, this is going to fuck me up. Because they're always like, you got to be on ship time. Got to be on ship time. If you're not on ship time, you might get left. And I'm like, fuck. Now, I've been worried about that. So I was like, oh, fuck. So I did it. And I was worried. I was like, did I do it right? I got on the ship early just in case before it left. But then I was like, fuck, I don't know what time it is for my show. It's supposed to be tonight at 10:45. But I had it right. So I was an hour ahead all day Saturday. And then I wake up Sunday. I set my alarm for 8 o'clock in the morning because disembarkation is from like 7:30 to 8:45. You can just get off the ship yourself. You don't have to wait on your luggage, but you got to carry it. But you can just get off yourself. Or you can put the tags on it the night before. You leave it outside your door. They come and pick it up. And then you have a number. And when your number is called, you go to your designated meeting area. And then you get off. And you can get your luggage. But you got to wait on it. And I'm like, hell no. I'm going to leave my cabin at 8:15. Last time it took about 30 minutes to get off the ship, right? Because the line was long at 8:15, 8:30. So you wait in line for a while and then you get off the ship and you just go. You're done as soon as you get off, right? You go through customs real fast, but they just scan your face and that's it. And so you get off and then I just go to the parking spot where the shuttle's going to pick me up, right? So I get to the parking area. So first thing, I get at 8:15, I'm ready to go. I packed the night before. All my shit's ready. And I bolted, right? Go downstairs, and there's nobody. I breezed through. I'm like, oh, this is fucking amazing. I guess everybody did they didn't do it themselves. They like checked their bags or whatever. No wait to get off the ship. Literally, no wait. You walk down, you follow the little signs, right off the ship, straight off that bitch, and get off through the terminal, get all the way down, get to the parking area. I'm supposed to be there like at number 16. I show up to number 16, and there's a Galveston Express shuttle van. I was like, oh, dope. I was like, is this the 9 o'clock? And I'm looking at my phone. It's 8:45 ish. I'm like, is this the 9 o'clock shuttle? He goes, no, this is the 8 o'clock shuttle. I was like, damn, this is the 8 o'clock shuttle. When is the 9 o'clock shuttle going to be here? He's like, probably about 9:15 ish. I was like, well, if you're still here, we're fucked. He was like, well, and so then I was like, man, he goes, it's nice though. It's going to be a full-size bus. I was like, oh, fuck. Not again. That means we got to go to Hobby and all that bullshit. So then this guy starts talking to me. He's like, oh yeah, man. He goes, he says something about that shuttle. He goes, is that your shuttle? I was like, no, I'm on the 9 o'clock. He goes, us too. He goes, the guy said that there's there's 2 seats left or something like that. But so there's 3 of us. So you might be able to get on if you ask. Cause I didn't ask. I was like, oh, okay. So I go over to the guy. I was like, hey man, I'm on the 9 o'clock shuttle, but I heard you have some room and it's just me by myself, man. I'm just solo. Could you maybe slide me on this shuttle instead? He's like, let me look. He's like, yeah, I got you, man. Go ahead. And he takes my bags. He puts them in the back. He goes, go ahead. You're checked in. I was like, fuck yes. Shout out to that dude for telling me. Him and his wife and his kid, the kid recognized him. He's like, oh my God, dude, Dad, it's the comedian. He was like, oh shit, my bad. I was like, oh, it's all good, man. And so we talked for a little bit and then I got on the shuttle. And then come to find out there were 3 seats, not 2. So they all could have got on. But I was like, we ain't saying shit. Nope, we are not telling them that. So then the guy gets on and he goes, well, folks, we'll be heading out of here shortly. But he goes, I'm missing 2 people and I can't get a hold of them. And, it's 8:05 now. And I'm supposed to be here till 8:15. And I was like, he forgot to fucking set his time forward. So he was like, well, I'm going to give him till 8:15 and then we'll just go, I guess. I don't know what to do. I can't get a hold of them, but I don't want to leave them. Maybe their phone's off or whatever. I was like, well, they've had an hour. Because, I'm looking at this is 9:05. It's 9. So we wait a little longer. And then this other couple gets on. And I was like, whoa, thanks for joining us, guys. And they were like, oh, we're not the couple. He just let us on. Because then he gets in the van and he goes, well, I finally got a hold of the other guy. He texted me at 8:12 and said he had canceled. I was like, oh, this guy is fucked up. So I go, sir, excuse me. Now, mind you, this is a little ass. There's like 15 people maybe, plus the driver. I was like, excuse me, bud. Just one point of clarification. You keep saying 8:05, 8:12, and 8:15. You obviously didn't set your clock ahead. It's 9:15 now. Everybody on the fucking bus at the same time, they go, no, it's not. I was like, what? Everybody's like, it's 8:15. And I was like, what? They're like, it's 8:15. I was like, oh yeah. My bad. I got it on East Coast, and yeah. My bad. I was like, what in the fuck? What happened? Like, I set the shit forward. I was like that the night before, man. I was supposed to perform at 10:45. My phone, my watch, and my laptop said 10:45. I don't know what the fuck happened, but we got off the ship. Somehow between that show and me going to sleep, I lost an hour. So when I got up, it wasn't 8 o'clock, bitch. It was 7 o'clock. And when I walked to that fucking van, it was 7:45. I was like, is this the 9 o'clock? He was like, no. I bet he was thinking, you fucking weirdo. Why would this be the 9 o'clock? It's 7:45, you dipshit. I was like, fuck. But I wasn't about to be like, oh, well, hell, I could have waited. I was like, fuck. Yeah. So then I'm texting Nora. I'm like, bitch, get up, get out of bed. You got to be at the fucking IAH. Because now I ain't got to be on that stupid ass big bus that stops at Hobby and takes 2 hours to get home. We are lickety split straight through. It was storming, but still, I was like, babe, get up. She was like, well, are you up? I was like, girl, I'm on the bus. She's like, you're on the bus? What happened to the 9 o'clock? I was like, well, it's a long story. Don't ask questions. Just get to the fucking airport. She's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I was like, me too. I couldn't fucking believe that shit. Donna said the phone automatically changes the time. Here's the problem. So they tell you on the ship, they're like, okay, but the ship is going to go through different time zones, right? So don't let your phone change when you get to different time zones. You have to keep it on ship time, right? Be on ship time. And ship time is going to be from whatever port they left from. So Central American, U.S., Houston time. So my scary ass is like, well, I don't want to get somewhere and get connected in Cozumel. I always go and steal the Wi-Fi now from this coffee shop. So I was like, man, let me just disable all that and I'll just do it myself and then turn it back on when I get to the house. So it was disabled. I don't know how the fuck all that happened, but it happened. I was so embarrassed. I was like, I'm calling him out. So, yeah, it was very confusing. Now, we get to IAH, and Nora is delayed. So, I'm sitting there, and this man in a wheelchair is missing his right leg from just above the knee. Right? And I'm standing there and he's sitting there and he gets on the phone. Well, he leaves as he gets on the phone, he wheels himself off. And then he comes back about 5 minutes later. And he goes, "Hey man, is this passenger pickup or shuttle bus?" And I was like, "Which one are you looking for?" He goes, "I'm looking for passenger pickup, but it's just all shuttle buses." And it said shuttle bus on the sign. So I called my wife and I was like, "I don't know where you're at." And I was like, "No, it's both, man. It's both. It's passenger pickup and shuttle bus." He goes, "Oh, shit." He goes, "Man, I went all the way to the other thing, the other pickup for passenger pickup, and then realized that that wasn't the spot where, I got picked up last." He goes, "So you mean to tell me I was just feet from it this whole time?" And it took all I had in me to be like, "Well, feet." I mean, you were a foot from it. Yes. Feet. I was like, I'm going to hell just for thinking that. That is awful. That's all I can do. Why? But what? Man, you know what you are. Why would you? I'm a bad person. I didn't say it out loud, but I wanted to be like, feet. Well, and I didn't do it. I thought it, but I didn't do it. What else happened? I think that was all the crazy shit. I was trying to remember. Oh, there was one other thing. Fuck, now I forgot. I should have wrote it down. I was like, I'll remember. Nope. Can't remember. Clarence and go to hell in gasoline box of briefs. Pretty much. Man, there was one other thing. Oh, yes. So the smoking section is, you pretty much see the same people. They come by and, they'll sit there and cough for 5 or 10 minutes while they smoke and then leave. And it's the same people pretty much the whole time. Well, the Monday evening, I went down to smoke a cigar, do some work. So I'm sitting there and there's these 3 black females sitting next to me. And I know the server because she took care of me the last 2 weeks and I'm back again. It's only been a week since I was gone. Now I'm back. And so she was like, "Hey, friend." I was like, "What's up, girl?" So she takes care of me. I make sure I tip her, $20 every time. And, but so these 3 black chicks, it's important, their color, their race, I promise. But they're sitting there and they're cutting up and they're funny, right? I'm not talking to them like the last time. I'm just minding my business, doing my shit, smoking my cigar, drinking my Heineken Draft, which is free. That's the only alcohol I get free is Heineken Draft. And so, what up, Jen? Oh, I owe Jen. I got to tell you too, I owe you an apology and I'll get to it. It's so good to see you, sweetie. What up, Jacob? So these 3 black chicks, they're sitting there and they're cutting up and I'm just minding my own business. I'm not talking to them. And one of them pulls out a J and sparks it up. And they're just blowing and going. I mean, and it gets windy in the evenings on the deck of a ship. And sometimes it depends. Sometimes it'll blow that way. Sometimes it'll blow this. Well, this night, it's all blowing in my face the whole time. And I was like, "Ooh, that's some strong Reggie, boy." It stunk. It did not smell good. 20 bucks tip. She should give it all for free. So they're smoking and I'm just like, "Whew, boy, it's strong." I'm not saying anything, right? Well, then my little server friend, she walks back up and she's like, "Hey," and so she's talking to me. She's like, "So are you on for 2 weeks again?" I'm like, "No, we're just chit chatting right now. It's just a week. And I'm back in April and I'm back in May." And she's like, "Oh," she goes, "Well, whew." She goes, I'll come talk to you later. if I don't leave, I'll be giggling the whole night. Whew. And she walks off. And she was talking about the weed. It was fucking strong. It was a lot. These bitches is blazing. So she leaves for a little bit. And I'm just sitting there minding my business, right? And then I see security come walking up. This is just two dudes. One of them, I've never seen yoga slacks before. This motherfucker's pants were so tight. Like you could see the bumps on the head of his dick. It was crazy tight. I was just like, bro, what is happening? Them pants. So they come walking up. They're like, ladies, what'd you put in the ashtray when we walked up? And she was like, what? One of them was like, what? And he was like, come with me, ladies. And so they go and they're standing. They don't go far. I can still hear them. And they're like, we know you're smoking weed. Do you have any more weed on you? They were like, no. And I thought, oh, fuck, they're about to ask him. He was like, it is illegal to have weed on the ship. It's illegal to bring it on. It's illegal to smoke it. Not only can you be fined, you could go to jail or whatever. And they were like, well, that was it. That's all we had. We just did it. And he was like, okay, we'll leave it at that. But if we get caught again, we'll have to take some action. Right? They're like, okay. And then all three of them left. And then the security guard guys, they left. And then the lady comes back and I was like, did you snitch? She was like, it was a lot. I usually don't say anything, but all these people, and they were saying something when I went down to get this drinks, and it was just a lot. And, yeah, I was like, damn. Okay. The next day, 2 days later, I'm back in the smoking section, but I'm sitting off by myself in the corner, right? And it's the evening. And so I see these three black chicks come walking out there's a bar back here, right? And they come walking out and they were like, oh, snitching ass bitch. And I was like, they know she snitched. Okay, whatever. They're like, we ain't, fuck her. Da, da, da. And then as they get to me, one of them looks and goes, and he's ops too, because he didn't warn us, and he probably said something. And they kept walking. Now, they didn't say this to my face. They just said it out loud as she looked at me. She's like, he's ops too. But I heard it. And I thought, bitch, first of all, I'm not ops. And for the white people, that means opposition. That's why it was important that I let you know. Because white girls are going to be like, he's ops. Like, that's like, ops is slang for like enemy. I'm enemy, right? I'm ops. And I was like, bitch, I didn't even snitch. I was sitting next to y'all's fat asses the whole time. How the fuck you gonna call me up? What did I fucking send carrier pigeon and shit when y'all wasn't? Go get him, man. What the fuck? I'm just sitting there smoking my cigar, drinking my Heineken. I don't know how the fuck they figured. I was like, how the fuck did I snitch? She walks off, security walks up. I've been there the whole fucking time. They're all, he's ops too. He could have said, he warned us and he probably snitched and walked off. And I thought, I ain't fucking ops. I ain't no snitch. So then I see him the next day. And we're just like passing in the hall. And I hear one of them go, there goes that sorry motherfucker. And I thought, okay, bitch, if y'all say something one more time, I'm saying some shit. I don't give a fuck. Look, 3 strikes. Okay, that's what you get with me. Sure as fuck. Next day, passing them on the stairs, they're like, I was like, look, y'all just need to know, I ain't snitch on nobody. I was sitting next to y'all the whole fucking time. It's not my fault you blazing up that Reggie and it's blowing all the way down with all them old ass white people. And I just walked off. I don't know what the fuck they said, but I had it. I just lost my shit for like half a second. And then I saw them again like 2 days later. They didn't say a fucking word to me. I was like, yeah. Fuck y'all, stupid asses. You're blowing this shit downwind to all the old white people that are gonna snitch. The fuck did you expect? Shit, that made me mad though. Don't sit there and call me a snitch so many times to my face. Fuck you. I was like, boy, I should go snitch. Be like, I saw him smoking again. Arrest him. I wouldn't do that, but I was mad though. Fuck them hoes. Got me angry. So that was it. That was my run-in. Now I owe Jen an apology because. So, shit. It was, I don't know. God, man. Now it's not 4 weeks ago. It was probably a month and a half ago on this show. And hey, what up, Evil Death? No, we haven't talked any sports, bro. I haven't watched sports in a month. I explained that at the beginning. I haven't been able to watch any sports yet. I'll give you some thoughts, but on some of the moves, but no, not yet. I've just been telling stories because I've been on cruise ships for 3 of the last 4 weeks. But I owe Jen an apology because about, I don't know, 5-6 weeks ago, maybe, we were talking about something. I think it was cooking or food or something. And I want to say it was Jen, and I don't know if it was AR Platinum or who it was, but they were talking about watching cooking shows. And Jen was like, oh man, I really like watching cooking shows. And I was like, that's fucking, I ain't watching nobody cook. That's crazy. I'm not doing that. Well, damn if I haven't seen every episode of Beat Bobby Flay. I've seen the new Flavor Town. I've seen about 25 to 30 episodes of Kitchen Nightmares. What's the one where they play poker and cook? I watched all of those too. Because look, there's only 5 fucking channels on the ship. And the Food Network was one of them. And I just need something on in the background when I work. So I know Flavor Town is Guy Fieri. I know. I said Beat Bobby Flay and I've seen Flavor Town. So yeah, I know it's 2 different things. Wild Card Kitchen, that's what it was. So I've watched Wild Card Kitchen. I've watched Beat Bobby Flay. I've watched Kitchen Nightmares. I've watched Flavor Town, the new one where they got like the different shops all around and shit. I never seen the old one, but I just watched the new ones. And I mean, it's all I watched was fucking cooking channels. No, they were still censored, Christian. They were still the censored Kitchen Nightmares. But I was so fucking into it. I was into Beat Bobby Flay. I don't know why the fuck that one captured my attention so much, but I just like, that's a fun show. I was like, that's not only that you learning how to cook and shit, but like it's fun. They're fucking with him. They're talking trash. It's fun. And then when I got to Wild Card Kitchen, that shit was even better because now they're drinking and gambling and they're talking shit in there too. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. This now you can't tell me shit. Now I'm like, well, Nora was like, what do you want last night? She was like, you want Chick-fil-A? I was like, yeah. And then I'm eating. I was like, I really felt like I needed more sour. This is too much sweet. I needed something to balance it. She was like, would you shut the fuck up? I was like, okay. I'm just regurgitating the shit I heard on the cooking shows. But holy fuck. I sure did watch a lot of Beat Bobby Flay though. That was a lot. CC said that's so ops, very. No, Beat Bobby Flay's not rigged. No. I saw some people win. It's because you're rooting for someone to beat Bobby Flay's ass. That would be dope. I don't think it should be just beat Bobby Flay. I think it should be like beat up Bobby Flay. And then like if you win, he has to put his hands behind his back and you get one free lick. Just wherever the fuck you want. My son swears he is Bobby Flay. Yeah, it'll change you, man. All them cooking shows, I was really like, yeah, I could do this. It'll have you fucking thinking that you're the shit. You're like, man, I could do that. Cause they'll be like, oh, your secret ingredient is kumquat. And I'm like, man, I don't even know what the fuck that is, but I'll tear that kumquat up, boy. I'll fucking have that shit in some crispy rice. I need to get that recipe, by the way. Like, that's all they talk about on that goddamn show on Beat Bobby Flay is crispy rice. I was like, yo, I've got to figure out what the fuck, because Nora and I love rice. I was like, I got to figure out crispy rice. I'll be the hero of this house if I make that shit. Because I already make good pork fried rice. It's the shit. It is, oh my God, so good. I have his crispy rice recipe. Hello? Let me see that shit in the email, girl. Oh yeah, Donna said it's entertaining, especially when the guests talk shit to him. I know. It's so fun. I was into it. But now I was like, I'm back in. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get home and do some cooking. And so I would watch all that shit, and then I would have to go to the buffet and eat. And that Donna said, share it on the Discord, please. Yes, good idea, Donna. And that part sucked because you see all that delicious food. I started watching Tournament of Champions. I haven't finished it though. I watched the first round when old girl was 8 seed and upset that Asian dude at 1. I was like, I can fucking go, girl. You go. I'm proud of you. Oh my God, I didn't think she could do it. It's crazy. I always thought crispy rice was Rice Krispies. Boo this man!
Emotional damage.
Jen said got to start from the first one. I did. I thought that was the first one. I don't know. Whatever. But what sucks is you watch all those cooking shows. Like, okay, here's what I don't understand. If you have a captive audience on the ship and you know at some point they can watch all the channel, it was the travel channel. Well, bitch, I'm traveling. I don't need to watch people travel. That's what I'm doing. Okay? It's the Travel Channel. It's National Geographic, which is nothing but traveling. And then it was HGTV. I'm not watching no home and garden shit. And then it was like the Food Network. And then I'm like, bro, that's all you do on the ship is eat and travel. Like, why the fuck is this all the stations? If I wanted this, I would just open that fucking door and go out there and eat and travel. But what's up? You're watching the Food Channel nonstop because I'm not doing anything, right? I'm just there. And then your ass has to leave and go eat a buffet that, boy, I tell you what, I have never in my life had so many crunchy hot dog buns. And not like they put them in the oven. They were just sitting out. It was, I was like, fuck, okay. So I learned real quick. Don't get the hot dogs unless you see them put the tray out. Then it's fresh. And that's the secret. See, let me hip you to a little game here. Let me hip you to a little game. That's Nate said you went on a bootleg cruise, 5 channels. I mean, they had other shit like I said, ESPN Caribbean and shit, but here's one of the things that if you do the buffet, right? So what you want to do is you got to walk around. Like if you like the French fries or you like the burgers, the pizza or whatever the fuck it is. The breakfast in the morning was pretty decent. But what you have to do is you kind of have to be patient. You got to kind of walk around and let your favorite shit get low. Get real low. And that's when you get it. You go up to them, you go, hey, do you have any more French fries? There'll be like 3 servings left, you know what I mean? But I'll be like, hey, do you have any more French fries? And she'll be like, oh, yeah, I got you. And she'll pull some fresh French fries out of the fryer and bloop, bloop. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then you just start eating them French fries while you're waiting on them to fucking pull a fresh pizza out of. And then you're like, yep, hot ass, fresh slice. The cheese is good. That's the secret. Trust me, my fat ass done spent 3 weeks in a row, damn near. That is the secret. You got to. You wait on your favorite to get low. Ask them for the fresh. They'll put it out. They don't give a fuck. You just got to ask. And then, best thing on the ship was the ice cream. Best thing on the ship was the ice cream. Some of them desserts were crazy. Some of them, yeah, it is. It's like CC's Pizza. Yep. Even though I said I remember they served pizza at midnight when I was on Carnival. So that's the other thing. You got to kind of get, you either want to be first at the buffet or last. That's the other secret. You either want to be first or last, because otherwise it's just chaos, right? So I kind of got down like, okay, this buffet dinner is over at 9:30, and then snack time is from 10 to 11:30, and then midnight snack time is 11:30 to 1 a.m. But no no sweets. The ice cream station closes at 9:30, so if you want ice cream, they don't have like little pieces of cake and shit out past 9:30. But if you want ice cream, gotta get it before 9:30. So I had like all these notes and shit. I'm like, damn. Yeah, I had to be real careful, boy. I love me some fucking soft serve vanilla ice cream. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Yeah. People Dub said you need to make friends with the kitchen people when you're in. I know they make custom shit. Yeah, there a couple of them like recognized. They were like, "Oh, you're back again. Like, do you work on the ships?" I was like, "I'm a guest entertainer." They're like, "Oh, what do you do?" I was like, "I'm the comedian." Oh, I felt bad because this one guy, I forget where I went. Oh, so you have to check in, right? You have to go down, and when you first get on the ship, you have to go down and scan a card at your approved, like, you know, meeting station if there was an emergency. I forget what they call it. And then you have to watch this safety video. And I went down, and the guy was like, "Man, weren't you here last week?" And I was like, "Yeah. I'm back, and then I'm off a week, and then I'm back on again." He goes, "What do you do?" I was like, "I'm a guest entertainer." He goes, "Oh yeah?" He goes, "Are you a dancer?" I was like, "Look at me, bro. Do I look like a dancer?" Muster station. There you go. And he was like, "Okay, no, but I didn't know what else you could be." I was like, I'm a comedian." And he goes, "Oh, you just stand-up comedian?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh man, do me a favor." I was like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" He goes, "Tell me a joke." And I was like, "Man, just scan my card." He goes, "You're not going to tell me a joke?" I was like, "I'm off the clock." He goes, "Oh, sorry." And I just took my shit and walked. I'm like, "Man, God damn it, don't hit me with that shit. Fuck you, bro. Just scan my shit. I'm not over here. What if I want, hey, I'm a doctor. No shit. Hey, can you check this out on my back and see if that, man, the fuck are we doing?" Oh, I can't stand that shit. That is like the number one thing you don't say to a fucking comedian. "Oh, you're a comedian? Mm-hmm. Tell me a joke. Go fuck yourself. How about that? Is that a joke?" So yeah, it was fun though. I had a really good time. I missed my wife though. I did. It is being gone 3 out of the 4 weeks. That was a long. 2 weeks was a long time. To be gone 2 weeks straight on a ship was crazy long. But it also, when I came back and I was home for a week and then went back out, it made that next week go by like that. It was fast. I was like, "Oh, okay, this isn't so bad." I don't know. There's some comics I know that do like 3 and 4 weeks in a row. I'm like, oh. So I met this one lady. She's super nice. She was also a guest entertainer. But she taught line dancing. She's from Connecticut or whatever. She was on there since November. It's February. She was on there November, December, January, and February. And yo, Tony Dallas, thank you for the super chat. Much love, pimp. He put, "Yes, you look like a dancer. Weren't you dancing next to the soft serve machine?" Yes, that was probably me doing the happy dance. That's a lot of lotion. Shut up, Amos. What's up, man? What fucking shut up. They had custom stations, like random people asking you for some jokes is like asking an off-duty stripper for a lap dance. That's funny. Truck Boogie said my boat had a cook on the buffet that would make steak, grilled chicken, and burgers custom order. They have like custom stations. Like in the morning, another pro tip, instead of just getting a pan of eggs, you just go to the omelet station. Even if you don't want an omelet, just be like, "Yeah, let me just get some eggs and cheese." and they'll make you up a fresh omelet. So it hadn't been sitting there, everybody breathing on the shit and touching it. You just get a fresh omelet. And they also have like, instead of just getting like burgers and pizza, they'll have certain like customized foods. Like they'll have, I don't know, they had Indian food, they had Asian cuisine, they had all kinds of things, right? But they would also have like this little station where it would be like a soup or a dumpling or something like that. But then they would have a certain specialty meat. So you could get like lamb, you could get brisket. That's the other thing you want to get. You want to go there and get that meat, not the shit that sits in a pan, because that is cooked. It's like special, and they cut it for you. So they'll right there, they'll carve it off and be like, yeah, let me get some extras. And then they pile that shit up for you because it's all you can eat. They don't give a fuck. That's another one. Yeah, go to the custom stations. That's the better part. I think one thing people should know about comedians is that, aside from not wanting autographs or interview inquiries, they hate being asked, can you tell me a joke? 100%. 1,000%. So I met this lady. She was on there from November. She wasn't getting off until next week. And I didn't realize how some people talk dirty to me. I didn't realize how long some people work those cruise ships. My first week, so there's like all kinds of people, right? So there's like a stage manager, there's the cruise director, and these are the two people that I basically report to. But then there's like a backstage manager as well, that they're behind the curtain. You don't see them, right? So the stage manager sits out in the main theater with two sound guys. One does sound, one does lighting. And then they have a backstage manager who kind of corrals everybody and, okay, you're on, when there's big shows. But for me, it was just like, hey, you got 15 minutes and you're on in 5. I'm like, okay. And they're like, I'm like, hey, can you put the water on the stool for me so I don't walk out with it and spill it or whatever? Yeah. So they do shit like that, right? So I was talking to the dude after my last show in the first week, and he goes, are you back next week? I was like, yeah, I'm back next week, and then I'm off a week, and then I come back again. He goes, oh, wow, that's it? I was like, 2 weeks is a long time, bro. He goes, I was like, why? How long are you on for? He goes, I got on in January and I get off in September. I was like, what the fuck? He goes, yeah, January to September. I got like an 8-month contract. So I got on mid to end January and I get off like first week in September. I was like, oh my God. Straight, like all the way through, like no breaks. He was like, I'm basically living on this ship from January to September. I was like, yo, that's crazy. That is insane. Because they talk about sea legs. And it's like, if you're on a ship for a long time, especially one that's, maybe you're going through some storms or, I don't know, whatever. Rocky ocean and shit. Turbulence. Fucking dumbass kid. But when you get off, you feel like you're rocking. Like I was, when I was in Cozumel after week 2, I was like, damn, I feel like the earth is moving, because you kind of get used to that. And then your body expects it and you adjust. Although it is weird to perform on stage when the ship is rocking, because I'll literally be standing there and I'll be like, and I'll have to walk back to center. Like I'll literally, you got to catch yourself. It's kind of crazy. But that dude was on. And so I was like, you have an 8-month contract? He goes, yeah. He goes, last time I did a 9-month contract and I was off for 2 months. And I was like, that's crazy. And he goes, yeah, but that's not long enough when you're on for 8 months. So this time I took 3 months off and then I signed another 8-month contract. I was like, dude, do you like, what do you do? Like, do you have a house or an apartment or anything? He goes, no. He goes, I don't really need it. I just stay with friends or family when I'm not on the ship. I'm like, oh my God, but do you know how much money that dude makes and saves? Nope. Never got seasick. Evil Death. Never once. Nope. Not once. I mean, I took some Dramamine and stuff, but no, never experienced it. People Dub said, legit question. How's the toilet paper? Awful. The only thing rougher than the seas is the toilet paper. What?
Boom. Roasted.
Yeah, it was. Whew. It's not good. Yeah, that was a problem. 2 weeks with, but I learned a trick, and I'll spare you the details. But there are things you can do. But yeah, I didn't take any wet wipes or anything like that. And I was like, oh, definitely should have. Barry, check out Trainwreck Poop Cruise. No, thank you. I know what it's about. No, thank you. Don't need to watch it. I will say there was one point where I was like, man, you can smell who just shit in their cabin because the toilets are right next to the fucking door. I was like, that's a bad design. Well, you'd be walking by somebody's cabin, you're like, God damn. Lord Jesus. Trying to think what else. Yeah, if you got questions like that, let me know. That was it though. If you've been on a cruise, everybody that I asked at the very beginning of the show to put a 1 in the chat if they've been on a cruise, that is one thing, man. The cabins are not meant to be stayed in. They're not designed for you to be like, well, this is luxurious. Them bitches is tight. Like the shower, I wrote a joke about showering in a phone booth. It's that small. And then, same thing with the bathrooms. Like the toilet, I wrote a bit about it where I was like, well, I've really been enjoying doing yoga every morning. And then the crowd will be like, yeah, you get some people that do yoga. They're like, oh, yeah. I'll be like, and by yoga, of course, I mean trying to fit onto the toilet because fuck, it is so tight. Like you literally, and I'd say this on stage, I've never had to sit down on the toilet and then face 10 o'clock to use the restroom. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I have a balcony. Sometimes it can be hit or miss. Like this last trip, my balcony, everything on there stayed wet the whole time. I don't know if it was the side of the ship I was on or if I was above the splash pool shit. It was just like useless. But the first 2 weeks I had balconies. I would go out there every morning and drink coffee at work. It was badass, man. Just looking at the ocean. I got some pictures I took. Let's see here. So this, oh shit. I forgot I took that one too. That's a video. This would be my morning. That would be my morning. I would sit on my balcony, drink some coffee. That would be my view while I worked. Pretty dope. You couldn't see the sun because of the stupid light. But yeah, it was dope. Then they have let's see. They have like an infinity pool at the edge of the ship and all these things. It was pretty dope. Yeah, I don't see nothing else. Nothing worth showing. Oh man, Westling never sent me because I linked up with Westling while we were in Cozumel. Why didn't you bring the wife? So that's a good question. Cece said I had a solo cabin, 99 square feet. I don't know how big these cabins were. I took a picture of the cabin. Hold on. Not. There you go. That's what the cabin looks like. Here, you know what? Let me just email the bitch. Oop, wrong button. Send. Done. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how big mine was. Why didn't you bring the wife? So, good question. I'll answer that while I'm pulling down this photo. So because all of this was fairly new. They asked that I not bring my wife for the first few trips, because they just wanted to make sure, all right, do you have it down? And they just didn't want any distractions while I was learning the ropes and trying to get good at everything. So they just asked that she wait, but she's going to go with me in, May. She's going to go with me. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Open and new. The fuck? The fuck? Let's see. There we go. So that's the cabin. You kind of see here. There you go. There's a little better view. It's not very big, right? So this little handle over here, that's to the bathroom. That's the light. Oh, I do have to tell you this. So yeah, that's the bed. And then there's the couch, TVs right there. That's it. That's the whole thing, straight to the balcony. So it's 9 total Dallases in a row. Very tiny. Yeah, it's not very big. I don't know how big these are. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, no idea. My cabin was 9 square feet. Yeah, I don't know how big this is, but this was pretty much what I stayed in every time. Right. One thing they don't tell you, that I sat in the dark for like 6 hours when I first got there. I sat in the dark for 6 fucking hours. And finally I was like, dude, I have to order like an overhead lights package? Why in the fuck won't the lights come on? Because this is the light switch right here. Shit, I zoomed in. That's the light switch, right? So that's like the bathroom light switch. Nothing would happen. The TV was on, but I couldn't get any lights. Nothing. I would go over here to this little lamp right here. Like none of these lights came on. That lamp right there didn't work. Like nothing worked, right? So I was like, was I supposed to buy lights? Because I knew I had to buy internet. I was like, man, I'm just sitting in the fucking dark. And finally, I texted John. I was like, bro, dude, these cabins come with lights? He goes, he goes, oh, fuck. He goes, you have to put your card in the box next to the door. I was like, oh, fuck. I didn't know. I thought that was like a speaker or air freshener or something. He goes, congratulations. You just wrote your first ship joke. I was like, fuck me. So I put the card in. And I tell that bit. I tell people like that's my opening joke. I'm like, yeah, I'm new to all this, and I sat in the dark for 6 hours, and I was like, I finally texted my buddy because I was like, well, that's supposed to get an overhead package, and he was like, no, dumb, you just put your card in that white box, and I was like, oh, I was like, yeah. What he didn't tell me is that you have to take it out when you leave. I swear to God, I just fucking left, and I went, oh fuck. Shit. Huh. Did that 3 times in a row. You learn that. Fuck. That was dumb. Yeah. Really dumb. And then one night, all right, this is the last story, then I'm gonna go. One night, so here you can see the bed, right? This is the bed, right? So one night, it was it the Cozumel night? Yeah. One night, Johnny and I met up in Cozumel the first Friday night. Had a couple beers, knew I wasn't working that night. Got on the ship, had another couple beers, was never drunk, but I did take like 4 melatonins to go with that. So I got up in the middle of the night to pee, and I was groggy. I was really groggy, right? I was like, fuck. And I was like, well, thank God the TV's on because I can't see. So I go to the restroom and I pee. And while I'm in there, apparently the TVs, they shut off after a certain point. So now it's just pitch fucking black in the room. Like, cause they have these blackout curtains on the over there behind those regular curtains. So it gets really dark and I can't see a fucking thing. And my groggy, semi-buzzed, melatonin out ass goes walking to the bed. And I went to get in bed, and, I put my knees out, and then I put my hands forward because I was going to get in bed, right? So you just kind of fall forward, and then you get in bed. Apparently, I drifted. Apparently, I drifted way, way left to this area right here. So when I put my knees and my hands out, I missed the fucking bed. One part of my knee and half a hand and the side of my face caught the edge of this bed right here. But the other half, just straight on the floor. Just, all I could think was, holy fuck. I guarantee you they thought somebody just rolled out of the bed. Because I grazed it on the way down. I didn't hit the bed. I just grazed it with my right side on the way down as I just fucking face plant into the floor. No bed. Was expecting a bed. I was like, how the fuck did I get over here? And I was like, oh my God. This is fucking crazy. I was like, I'm gonna really feel that in the morning. My old ass is gonna be all bruised up. It was sad. It was embarrassing. People that got drunk running behind that shit. Yep. I messed up one time and opened the front door while the patio door was open, and shit went flying everywhere. Some papers flew straight outside to the ocean. That is hilarious. Bro, that's hilarious. Shut up, Jen. That is so funny. I had no idea that you could do that. That's funny. Like an airplane. That's too funny. All right. Well, that is all of my cruise ship stories and travels and mishaps. So tomorrow, we'll get into some sports. We'll talk Texans free agency. We'll talk a little Rockets. We'll talk a little World Baseball Classic if we care. We'll have some more fun and do some non-sportsy shit too. But so good to be back. So good. Thank you guys for coming back. Much appreciated. Didn't know what to expect when I got here. I was like, I think they've all given up. And I wouldn't have blamed you. Hey, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Flip. Much love to both of you. So yeah, tomorrow we'll get into it. Oh shit, I forgot to tell you I have a show. Just make plans. This Friday, I will be headlining the Punchline Late Show. This is pretty dope because I've never actually headlined a night at an A club on the weekend. I've done off nights. I've done, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. But Friday and Saturdays are usually pretty sacred. But your boy got a Friday night at an A club in the city. So pretty dope. Very excited about this. I just haven't done a good job marketing it because I've been gone. So hot and heavy marketing between now and Friday. But I hope you guys will be able to come to the show because it would mean a lot to me, one, and it's gonna suck if nobody's there. That happened to me the last time I headlined the Improv, and that was because everybody was like, well, it's a Sunday. I was like, okay. And sometimes it'll have, like, if I'm headlining on a Wednesday, they're like, well, it's a Wednesday. This is Friday night. You have no work the next day. It's also Friday at 9:30, so it's not even the early show where you gotta hurry home and you're like, oh, well, had to get the kids and the food, and you got plenty of time for no excuses. The only excuse is you don't like me. That's why you're not coming. All right? Oh, that's dope, Cisco. We're gonna have a good time, man. I'll see you there. All right. I love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks again for joining me. Shout out to everybody for the subs and all of the stuff, man. Really appreciate you guys coming back. And do it again tomorrow. Okay? All right. Good night, Evil Death. Thank you, Uriel. Cruises are bad for me because every time I go on 9 months later, I have a baby. Oh, Lord Jesus, don't do it. Hey, thank you, Christian Gary. Much love, man. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, boy, it's been a while since I've done this. In the meantime, do me 3 favors, everybody. Be safe. Be kind. And most importantly, love each other. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye, Jen. Bye, CC. Bye, Donna. Love you guys. Bye. And he's making a YouTube video.